This is total impromptu, but whenever I feel like something comes through for me that it's like something that more people need to hear, I'm like, okay, girl, put your stuff aside, your introverted self, and get on. So I top bar, finished about an hour ago. Feels like years ago already because of all the conversations that I've had so far. But so how do we get to the root of whatever is plaguing you right now instead of just putting a Band-Aid on it? Here's the example I have of not getting to the root of it. So say someone has depression, anxiety, and panic and that stuff going on. So they go, oh, well, how about an antidepressant? Okay, well, that will help. That will be like one of the Band-Aids that I'll use to... That'll be one of the Band-Aids that I use to help the situation. So you take the antidepressant and you're like, huh, because now you're just kind of like this. And your doctor will go, so are you feeling happy? And you're like, no. And they're like, are you having anxiousness or panic attacks? And you're like, no. And they're like, how do you feel? And you're like, eh. And it's kind of like a blah. So you take the antidepressant, okay, or maybe you don't, and you instead go, I'm going to use some essential oils to help my anxiety or my panic or my fear, whatever it is. So then you take the essential oils, you put them on, yay! That provides temporary relief to an issue. Again, another Band-Aid. All these things are great to use, but they're not getting to the root of the issue. So the root of the issue of fear and anxiety could be, in Chinese medicine, they say that the panic and the fear comes from having a weak adrenal glands. Anger and fire comes from the liver being sluggish. Then you have anxiousness and fear, and there's another one, and that comes from... It's not the heart. So the heart is like nervousness, anxiousness. So if your heart is weak, if there's weak blood flow to the heart, you're going to be more prone to being anxious. So Chinese medicine says to go to the organ, fix what the problem in the organ, stimulate the blood flow, get the lymphatic system moving. So they go to the root. Now, if you are experiencing overwhelm, blocks, unconscious or conscious blocks, mindset traps, then you need to get to the root of your issue there. Where is the root of your stuff coming from? And you might think it's like this top level thing where I was working with a client in the deep activation. She was saying, I thought it was my fear of visibility. Like I thought that I wasn't showing up online and I was scared to do a live stream because of my fear of visibility. What I found was that the root was that I didn't feel like I was actually worthy of showing up and delivering what I was really good at. So she got to the root of her issue in the deep activation program by addressing what she thought it was first, which is like that first level, and then going even deeper. You have to pull the root out of whatever it is that is causing you unpleasant feelings, unpleasant thoughts, unpleasant memories. You literally have to go through the crap, the sludge, the darkness, the hard part of all of it to get into the root, to pull it out so you can then drop the seeds of what you want to grow. So it's like when I take people through cleanses or detoxes and weight loss, it's like people think that, well, I've been eating nutrient dense food. I've been adding superfoods to my smoothies and juices. I've been doing this and that. Oh, and doing all of this. When really it's like, but you didn't detox first, so you putting all the nutrients and all the fruit and veggies and plant-based protein, you were just putting that on top of stuff that isn't moving. So to detox, you're taking the stuff that doesn't move and you are getting rid of it, and then you're planting the seeds of all the nutrient-dense foods. So you see how that's different? It's the exact same thing that happens within your mind. And this is what I'm taking my entrepreneurs through in the Activate Your Gifts Mastermind and the Deep Activation. The Deep Activation isn't just for entrepreneurs. Like I've had so many people go through the program that wanted to lose weight, that wanted to focus on one single thing. A clothing designer who wanted to launch her line that kind of like lost focus. Someone who wanted to lose weight, wanted to figure out why she'd been doing Whole30 100 million times And it worked during that time, but then after it was over, she was like, I don't know what to do next, because she didn't get to the root of the issue. And the root of the issue is almost never food. The root of the issue is something else. So if you really want to get to the root of your mindset blocks and stops and overwhelm and fear and anxiousness and like anything else that tries to get in the way of you achieving that next step, you've got to get to the root of the issue. It is not going to be a Band-Aid fix if you want anything to happen long term. And as someone who has been in business for 8 years now, and I want you to remember that, what is it, like 80% of businesses in the first 1 to 3 years fail. So if you are listening to someone who is like in year 1 of their business and they're talking about how to business coach, that's probably going to be a little off-putting, because you're like, it's been 1 year. Unless they're super successful, they're like an overnight success. But talking to someone who has been in business for almost a decade now, who has had to work through every mindset block, like, and you might be experiencing this in your business now. Come here, fireman. The more money you make, the more mindset blocks you're going to have to go through. And that's just how it works. Come here, sweet pie. That's just how it works. The more like weight you lose, the more blocks you're going to have to go through as well. Say hi. Hi. So I just went through this because I have attracted more clients in the last year with my Activate Your Gifts business, and now I've maxed out on my scheduling. So now I'm figuring out how to build residual income that comes in on its own through sales funnel strategists. I cannot do that, so I hired someone. She is an expert at what she does. She's going to be an expert in the Activate Your Gifts mastermind, but I brought on a new masterminder, and I can't even have a session with her until mid-June because my schedule is maxed out. And then I don't even know if I can really bring on any more masterminders for a while to give them the energy and effort that I fully believe that they deserve, and they do. So take it from someone who has been there, who has worked through blocks for a long ass time, who still experiences them and uses the same method to get through them. So how do you get through your mindset blocks? You figure out the root of what it is. What does that require? Maybe hypnotherapy sessions, maybe healing sessions, could be intuitive psychic healing sessions, could be cognitive behavioral therapy, could be journaling, could be remembering that we are the controllers of our mind. We are the ones that allow a thought to dictate our day, if it's positive or negative. We're the ones who are in control. And during this time, during the pandemic, quarantine, great pause, whatever you want to call it, we are feeling out of control. Like, not every day, it's up and down, but there are more feelings of like, we don't know when this is going to end. We don't know if life will ever return back to normal. We're scared to give hugs, but we want hugs. Like, we're going through the entire gamut of what a panic would feel like emotionally, physically, physiologically, psychologically. And so to come back in and remember that we are the controllers of the brain, and to work with someone who can help you unravel the cobwebs in your brain is essential during this time if you want to grow your business, if you want to lose weight, if you want to get healthy, if you want to master your mindset. Like, you have to work with someone who can help you get out to get back in, which is really the case, and like how to clear out darkness, and like there's so many different things you can do to feel better today. And yeah, like that's the message that wanted to come through today. And even though I look like I haven't slept since 1940, I was like, whatever, I don't care. I need to get on here and just speak the message. So if that resonated with you, if you're like, yes, I need mindset work, just write that below. And if you have something that's been working for you, I would love to know what that is as well. Mwah! Have a good day, everybody.